purpose of the proposed changes is to update the code to acknowledge the emergence of new technologies and business models, while also ensuring all public passenger vehicles operating in Eugene meet community safety standards. We've heard a couple of people comment on focusing on the customer, and I would like to say I think the city's pure role in this is focusing on the customer and on the general public. The proposed changes allow fare calculations using smartphone applications. Additionally, even though we believe that the city's current public passenger vehicle code provisions require companies like Uber and Lyft to obtain a PPV company license, code amendments are proposed that would clearly require these types of businesses to obtain a PPV license from the city of Eugene to operate. Similar to your previous item, an immediate effective date has been added to the proposed ordinance. If it passes with 6 votes or more, the ordinance will go into effect immediately. If it passes with less than 6 votes, the ordinance will go into effect in 30 days. I'm happy to answer any questions about this.
Thank you. Council Vice President?
I just didn't think Councilman Clark was before.
But do we want to put the motion out and then have a conversation?
I think that probably is appropriate. I move to adopt Council Bill 5136, updating the public passenger vehicle code.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded. I started a queue. I have Councilor Clark and then Councilor Evans.
Thank you. I appreciate the tact that staff has taken to this point as a reasonable one from your perspective of trying to work with the folks at Uber to try and work together. I appreciate that you've tried to operate in good faith with them, but they have not operated in good faith with us. It's my opinion that while I've heard about some of the work to try and bring them into compliance with our existing laws that protect the folks who are passengers, that they make a promise and then sometimes don't deliver and don't keep their word and their agreement about how they want to work with us. I, for one, would like to see much more robust enforcement of our policy and our code than we've shown to this date. We've shown to have a kind of patient footing and a tolerant attitude about this where, you know, Portland filed suit within a day and shut it down and had an opportunity to make a real difference of bringing them into compliance with the law. I would like to see us change our footing when it comes to enforcement from the more patient, time-consuming mode we're taking now that seems to play into Uber's hand of smiling very, very nicely and then ignoring all the rules. Could you characterize for me what this ordinance will do in your efforts to enforce our code?
So I can tell you right now, we are assessing a civil penalty against Uber on the basis that they are a PPV company operating without a license. They've appealed that on the basis that they're not a PPV company. One of the amendments to the PPV code would effectively says, we don't really care if you call yourself a PPV company or not. If you are a business that connects people, like the Lyft and the Uber platform does, you need to get a PPV company license. So it takes out of the discussion whether or not they fall within the definition. If you do these sorts of things, and if they connect the passengers with a digital platform, you have to get that type of license, which then means that they need to comply with our minimum safety requirements that we have in our administrative rules. So one of the things that this does is it takes the debate over whether they fall within the definition or not out of it. Doesn't matter if they do or not, they've got to get the license.
If you give people rides for money, you're a passenger service, essentially.
And what this is saying is, one of the arguments, as we understand that they're making, is we're simply the platform. We're not giving people rides. So what this code amendment says is, you provide that platform that connects up a passenger to a ride, then you need to get the same type of license that a taxi company type license would be.
The important thing, to the gentleman's point, which I appreciate and agree with, is that the city's job is to the degree we can, make sure that folks are complying with the rules so that the passengers that they carry are safe. That has to do with licensing and background checks and all that sort of thing. And our job is also to provide a level playing field, so that in the end, everybody's playing by the same rules, everybody is subject to the same laws about how they operate, and the passengers that they carry then have some degree of reliability about who's driving.